truck was on Mr. McClain's tow truck.
Is it legal parking?
They have it painted red that says no parking, but
so the answer would be no, it's not legal parking.
But what happened next was totally out of control.
Mr. Abraham reached into my truck, my window was halfway up, and he grabbed my transmission shifter and slammed it in park. At that point, I reached in with a hand, not both hands.
Okay, thank you for that distinction, because that is going to make the whole difference in this case.
Today, Judge Alex gets things straight.
So we seem to have a lot of little gray areas here. He was towing the car. It was illegally parked. He was taking my truck. It's not your truck. Let's keep things in perspective here, shall we?
As a cop, he stood up for the law. As a trial lawyer, he fought for the truth. And as a criminal court judge, he commanded authority. Now he returns to preside over America's courtroom. Judge Alex. Karen Vaughn, in court with her witness, David Abraham, is suing James McClain for $3,000 for car damages because she says he attempted to improperly tow her vehicle from in front of her apartment complex and failed to load the vehicle properly. James McClain says he had every right to tow Karen's car because she was illegally parked. He's countersuing Karen for $1,055 in vehicle damages.
All right. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Alex Ferrer presiding.
Thank you. Please be seated. Ms. Vaughn, you're suing Mr. McClain because you say he towed your vehicle, and in the process of towing it, he damaged the vehicle, and you want him to pay for the repairs. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Mr. McClain, you say that her vehicle was illegally parked and you were properly towing it. There wouldn't have been any damage except that she and her witness assaulted you, and that's what ended up resulting in the damage to her vehicle. You're counterclaiming for damage that was caused to your tow truck.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Tell me what happened here.
I live in an apartment complex, and in the apartment complex, there's very limited parking, especially on Sundays. And on this particular Sunday, I parked close to my front door so I could get my car seat to go get my daughter. And when I came out, my truck was on Mr. McClain's tow truck.
Is it legal parking?
They have it painted red that says no parking, but
so the answer would be no, it's not legal parking.
Actually, it is, because the apartment complex does not have a city permit to park it with a no red zone. And I went to the city to find that out.
So do you have a statement from the city hall or from anybody of any authority other than you saying that this was not a designated fire lane?
No, I do not.
Okay. Mr. McClain.
Yes, sir.
How do you come in contact with Ms. Vaughn's vehicle?
That Sunday morning, I was driving by. I saw the 4Runner parked in the red. Took my picture, backed my truck up to it.
What do you mean you took your picture?
I have a digital camera in the truck. We have to take a picture of the violation before we tow the vehicle.
Okay.
So I took a picture out the passenger window, and then I proceeded to hook the 4Runner.
Okay. Let me see. We have an aerial picture of this area, so maybe that'll help in the explanation of what's going on. Okay. This is your apartment complex area?
Correct, and that is my white truck on the left.
That's your truck?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this here, parked on this red line, which appears to be a fire lane that goes all the way around, that's your vehicle?
Correct.
How often do you park there? And it just so happens when the aerial picture of that area was taken, lo and behold, your truck is parked in a fire lane.
Probably 365 days.
Okay. So the whole discussion about, I just parked it there to run in and get a car seat, that really kind of was a waste of time.
On that particular day, that was my goal.
Okay. So you park there almost every day of the year, and you're complaining about being towed this time. Okay. So now, tell me about what happens when you pull up. What do you do?
So I take the picture. My tow truck is remote control from the inside of the truck. I unfold my boom, back underneath the 4Runner.
The boom is the part on the back that
it's like a claw that you just finger.
That you slide under the vehicle.
Yeah, and then it closes on the wheels. So as soon as I do that, I'm connected to the vehicle by means of my truck. It's an $80 drop fee. Mr. Abraham.
$80 drop fee. By that you mean that once you hook up the vehicle, if the owner comes out and says, hey, don't tow my car, they have to pay the fee because you've already done the work.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so tell me, yes, you are Mr.
Abraham.
Mr. Abraham. Okay. How do you know Ms. Vaughn?
She's my roommate.
Oh, you two live together?
Correct.
Okay, so you were in the house?
I was in the house.
All right, so tell me what happened.
And I heard the scraping of the tow truck assembly, I guess if you want to call it, the forks that come down scraping on the cement. And I heard that, and I peeked out the window. I said, oh, shoot, the tow truck's here. And I ran outside, and I asked the guy what he was doing, and he says, well, I'm towing the truck. And I said, well, wait a minute, why are you towing the truck? We just got in. I mean, it's been maybe 8 to 10 minutes total, and we're getting ready to load it up.
Were you in the same kind of tone of voice you're telling me? What are you doing? Yes.
First of all, he was not in that same tone of voice.
Well, what tone of voice was he? What tone of voice do extremely irate tone of voice usually approach tow truck drivers?
Usually they're very angry. Also, a lot of people are pretty civil, but he was not civil one bit.
Coming up, things really escalate and spin out of control.
At that point, he has one hand on the shifter, one on the window, and he's trying to bend the window. So I put both hands on the shifter, and I smashed it down into drive
to get out,
hit the gas, and I got out of there.
Okay.
And I went out on the street.
So you were able to pull away from him?
Yes.
Did he go away?
No.
And later, unbelievable footage from the day of the incident is revealed for the first time.
How is it that you weren't arrested?
Well,
Judge Alex is back with a case of Karen Vaughn, who, in court with her witness David Abraham, is suing James McClain for $3,000 because she says he attempted to improperly tow her vehicle. James McClain says he owes nothing because Karen was illegally parked in a fire zone. He's countersuing Karen for $1,055 in vehicle damages.
What did he say, or what did he do?
Well, when he came up, he did say, what are you doing? What are you doing? I said, your car's in the fire lane. You're going to have to pay $80 drop fee, or I'm going to have to tow it.
So once you've hooked it up,
yes. If they
you don't automatically take it if they come out.
No.
You say, I'll give you the opportunity to pay the drop fee, which is half of the tow fee.
Yes.
But if they don't pay it, you tow the car.
We would tow it, yes.
So he comes out and he says, what are you doing? What are you doing? What happened?
Right after that, Miss Vaughn's foster son or stepson or something like that ran to the 4Runner to jump in it. So I lifted it in the air. When I did that, Mr. Abraham reached into my truck. My window was halfway up, and he grabbed my transmission shifter and slammed it in park.
Were you rolling?
No, I was stopped.
Okay.
He locked his hands around it.
Did you do that?
Point, I locked my hands around the steering column, and I pulled up on the shifter. Yes, I did.
So the answer was yes. You reached into his tow truck, grabbed the shifter, and threw it in the park.
He said I reached in with hands. I reached in with a hand, not both hands.
Okay. Thank you for that distinction, because that is going to make the whole difference in this case. So he reaches in and throws your truck in the park.
Yes.
What happens?
At that point, he has one hand on the shifter, one on the window, and he's trying to bend the window, which is halfway down. So I put both hands on the shifter, and I smashed it down into drive
to get out.
I hit the gas, and I got out of there.
Okay.
And I went out on the street.
How far did you go?
About 30 feet.
Okay.
Wait for the police.
So you were able to pull away from him?
Yes.
Did he go away?
No.
Your Honor, he punched me.
Because you reached into the truck?
He was also stealing my truck. He had
Well, first of all, is it your truck?
No, well, it's
my truck.
Okay. We seem to have
the truck.
We seem to have a lot of little gray areas here. He was towing the car. It was illegally parked. He was taking my truck. It's not your truck.
It's my truck.
Let's keep things in perspective here, shall we?
It's my truck. We need to go back. Mr. McClain never offered me a drop fee until the law enforcement agencies came out. We had 3 police officers that said, can you pay the $80? And I said, I've never been offered the $80 drop fee.
Well, I don't think you were interested in paying anything from the beginning.
I was willing to pay the $80 to get my car.
I'm sure at that point you were, but I think at the beginning, what I'm hearing is, you hear a tow truck, Mr. Abraham runs out and says, what are you doing taking the vehicle? Nobody's going like, oh, how much, is there a discount fee for dropping the car right now? Okay.
Yeah.
You run out there, and he's reaching in, grabbing the shifter knob, throwing it in the park, which, by the way, you say he hit you. Now, I don't know if he hit you or not.
He punched me in my arm.
In your arm, okay.
Yes.
What do you think would happen if you reached into the window of Mason's vehicle?
First of all, I wouldn't be towing his vehicle on private property.
Okay.
Not without a contract.
My point is,
because he doesn't have a
people react to your actions. So if you want to come to court and say, I can't believe that he hit me, think about what your actions were, because the chances are another tow truck driver might have hit you in the head with a wrench.
Yeah, I would have hit him back.
I doubt that. I doubt that. But let's get through what happened here.
It was assault.
Coming up, will David's demeanor change once he sees the evidence against him?
He punched the passenger side mirror of my truck, broke off the glass, which we brought pictures of. There's also a video of that, which we brought extremely
I'm curious to see what that video shows, so I guess let's look at it. It's time for America to vote on today's case. Who do you think I should rule for, the plaintiff or the defendant?
Call toll-free 1-800-282-2333 to vote now and find out how the rest of America votes. You'll also receive some valuable offers. Call 1-800-282-2333 now.
This week on Judge Alex, she bailed him out, but then he bailed on her.
His butt went to jail.
Did the rest of them go with it?
And she was the victim of a hit and run.
Did you have insurance?
At the time, no.
You know, those are the kind of things that make people flee the scene of a rear-end collision.
Judge Alex.
If you'd like to contact Judge Alex, call toll-free 1-800-854-7303 or log on to judgealex.com. Judge Alex is back with a case of Karen Vaughn, who's in court with her witness, David Abraham. She's suing James McClain for $3,000 because she says he attempted to improperly tow her vehicle. James McClain says he owes nothing because he was acting in compliance with his contract with Karen's apartment complex when he attempted to tow away the vehicle. He's countersuing Karen for $1,055 in vehicle damages.
So now you take the vehicle about 30 feet into the street and you stop there.
To leave the scene and wait for the police.
Right. What happens there?
Mr. Abraham walked up to my truck. He punched the passenger side mirror of my truck, broke off the glass, which we brought pictures of.
Did you do that?
After he spit on me, yes. Through the passenger window, I got so angry that I slapped the mirror. Yes, I did. There's also a video of that, which we brought.
You have video of what?
Of him picking up the mirror of the tow truck after they broke it and scurrying off with it. Extremely
aggressive. I'm curious to see what that video shows, so I guess let's look at it.
It has no sound.
You said you also have pictures?
Yes.
All right, well, let's look at what you have as evidence here.
So that's my mirror after the fact, after Mr. Abraham. Next picture. That's the left-hand turn signal and windshield wiper assembly.
What happened to the turn signal?
When I broke the shifter away from his fingers, he reached back in and ripped that whole assembly out. That's at the scene.
He broke the turn signal as well as the mirror.
Exactly. I drove around for a week. Yes, they did.
How is it that you weren't arrested?
Well, I don't know. I explained to them exactly what had happened, just like I'm explaining it to you now.
Let me see the video you were talking about.
Okay. In the video, this is after I already pulled out to the street. I'm sitting there. Miss Vaughn's on the phone with the police, and I was on the phone with the police. That's her family member restraining him right after he broke the mirror. I've already left the area, and he's still pursuing the confrontation. There's him scurrying off with the mirror from my truck.
Unfortunately, you didn't videotape the part that you were actually spitting and cussing and threatening Karen that you were going to clean her out.
Okay, and just so I can get my mind wrapped around this, you guys are the plaintiffs here.
Yes.
Coming up next, how will James respond when it's his turn in the hot seat?
Just showing me a close shave or what?
That's his cheek that was swollen.
That's my cheek that was swollen.
Why is your cheek swollen?
Because he punched me the second time.
He punched you in the face?
Yes.
Tell me, when did he punch you in the face? It's time for America to vote on today's case. Who do you think I should rule for, the plaintiff or the defendant?
Call toll-free 1-800-282-2333 to vote now and find out how the rest of America votes. You'll also receive some valuable offers. Call 1-800-282-2333 now. Judge Alex is back with a case of Karen Vaughn, who's in court with her witness, David Abraham, suing James McClain for $3,000 because she says her vehicle was damaged due to his negligence. James McClain says he owes nothing because he was acting in compliance with his contract with Karen's apartment complex when he attempted to tow away the vehicle. He's countersuing Karen for $1,055 in vehicle damages.
what damage do you claim was caused to your vehicle? How was your vehicle damaged?
When he hooked up my truck, he did not hook it up right and did a whole bunch of damage, and it took him and his coworkers and I guess the owner to help come get it, and I have photos of that.
Why was her vehicle raised incorrectly?
It was not raised incorrectly. It was raised correctly, but when I had to leave his area to get away from him, I made a 90-degree right turn out of a steep driveway, and the tow truck came completely, or halfway off. The car came.
The vehicle shifted off of the fork.
Yes.
Okay, let me see the pictures of damage here. Both of you sent in pictures, right?
Yes.
Tell me what I'm looking at here.
That's how the hook was underneath my truck, and there's a little knob that's sticking out, and my back right tire was punctured as well.
Okay, so this here is supposed to be resting. The tire's supposed to be resting on it, right?
Yeah, between the two white bars.
Right. Mr. McClain?
Yes. The other side is. Since I made a right-hand turn, that's the side that came off. That's a circle on his arm.
Whose arm is that?
That's my arm. That's the circle he wrote on his arm.
That's my arm. That's when my arm had been reaching around to grab his shifter. He actually punched me on my arm.
You're the one that reaches into his truck.
Yes.
So do I have a problem with him punching you in the arm? Not in the least. Not in the least. Okay. So let's get through. You have another picture, I think. Let's see what the next picture is. Just showing me a Coach Dave, or what?
That's his cheek that was swollen.
That's my cheek that was swollen.
Why is your cheek swollen?
Because he punched me the second time.
He punched you in the face.
Yes.
Tell me, when did he punch you in the face?
When I was trying to reach for the shifter, he punched me in my face. I grabbed the turn signal. At that point, he shifted into drive. He tried to drive off, and the handle broke in my hand.
That does not look any different than what I'm looking at right now.
I'm not a professional photographer, so, we did the best we could.
Did it get black and blue over the next few days?
No, it wasn't that bad, but my jaw was sore.
What exactly happens after this? Because you're suing for some court fees that are not
restraining order against me.
I'm sorry?
They filed a restraining order against me.
A restraining order?
Yeah.
No, I filed a restraining order because he threatened that he was going to come back and take care of me later.
Did you go to court and get a restraining order?
No, they got denied because they felt that it would hinder him picking up other vehicles.
Ms. Vaughn, look, this judge sees it the way I see it. In your statement, you say, our civil case of harassment against James was heard and the judge denied it. The judge felt my roommate David instigated this. He was doing what he was contracted to do. If he comes and your car is illegally parked,
property.
Yeah, but your first where do you think fire lanes are? Do you think fire lanes are necessary on public roads? The whole purpose of a fire lane is so people don't block access to private property. Take a look at that aerial picture. There are apartment complexes behind yours. If there's a fire in there, that lane needs to be open so a fire truck can go through. Hence the red curb, okay? So that's the whole concept of a fire lane. But you ran out there, reached into the car, grabbed the shifter. He has a right to react. If he punched you in the face or punched you in the arm, which frankly I don't see any injuries, but if he did, self-defense. And then he has to get out of there, and in doing that, he whips out of there and the car comes off the fork. So any damage caused to your car is his fault.
That way.
You want to sue somebody, sue him.
He picked it up wrong.
That's the way he picked it up.
I'm not buying that. I'm believing him. Here we are. You're suing for vehicle damages.
Yes.
Do you personally own the tow truck?
No, but I have a letter.
Let me see what you have.
Authorizing me.
Because you're also suing for the civil case fees for when you had to go in front of the judge who found that you were not at fault.
Yes. Unlike them, I paid for my Post-its and all that, and I didn't sue for that.
Here's a letter from the owner, the corporate secretary, saying you're authorized to collect the compensation for the tow truck on behalf of All Day Towing, the tow truck company. You have sent in the invoices for the damages to the shifter, the labor to replace the shifter, the damage to the mirror, the labor to replace the mirror. Total for that and the civil case fees is $1,055. In this case, it's $0 for the plaintiff, and it's $1,055 for the defendant. Good luck, folks.
All right. Judge Alex has denied the plaintiff's claim and ordered her to pay the defendant in the amount of $1,055.
I think the judge's decision was right on. He's right on the money. He looked at all the facts. He saw that these people are degenerates and they're suing me for no reason. And I'm just glad we won.